These are the top 10 games on Twitch. We're going to look at which games have the most viewership on Twitch, and we're going to compare and contrast that with how many channels are actually covering those games, so you can find the opportunities where there are less channels to compete with, but there are the maximum number of viewers possible so that you can grow as fast as possible. Get the numbers on your side. Let's jump into Twitch Tracker. It's super interesting this week. A bunch of games jumped onto the top 10 viewership list and everybody jumped on board, but was it a good decision? The numbers will tell us. Come check it out. All right, first things first, the number one most watched game on Twitch over the last week was League of Legends, up 10%. Number two was Just Chatting, down 1%. I'm predicting that Just Chatting will be the number one category on Twitch in 2021. Among Us, though, shaken and moving, down 31% in terms of viewership week over week. I predict that that will continue to plummet down this list, down to number 4, 5, or 6 in the following week. Call of Duty Modern Warfare Warzone up 20%, fresh content, new eyeballs, new marketing, increasing that number, getting it into the top 5. I predict it'll stay between 4 and 7 over the next week. Fortnite down to number 5 with a decrease of 15% in terms of viewership. Look, when Fortnite gets new content, it shoots into the top 5. When it gets stale a little bit before the new content, it'll drop down to the bottom of the top 10, which is what we're seeing right now with this phase of Fortnite. FIFA 21 is a huge shaker and mover this week. 4,100% increase, shooting it into the top 10. New marketing, new content, fresh eyeballs, millions of dollars from EA being dropped into this one. This will drop out of the top 10 probably by next week or the following week. It won't stay in the top 10. This is a spike trend. This is a spike because of new content. Don't count on this one being a mega game on Twitch moving forward. CSGO stays in the top 10, I don't know, maybe forever. Up 35% week over week. This is great. It was down toward number 10 last week. Now it's up to number 7. It's going to stay between number 5 and number 9 probably indefinitely as we move into 2021. GTA 5 just unshakable in terms of being a top 10 game on Twitch. Down 10% this week, but whatever. I don't think GTA is going to come out of the top 10 and be, without being a top 10 game on Twitch until GTA 6 drops. I don't think Cyberpunk 2077 is going to eliminate it. Moving into next week, it'll probably scooch up either one spot or down one spot. It won't move that much. So GTA 5 remains steady over the last 5 years. However, we've got two giant shakers and movers here on the viewership list. Phasmophobia jumping up 245% week over week, and Genshin Impact doing the exact same thing, 455%, busting into the top 10 and taking out games such as Valorant, Apex Legends, Minecraft that are normally on the top 10 because these trending games jumped in on the fly, but they didn't necessarily stay there. And I think both of these games will drop off of the list in the coming weeks very, very quickly. So let's contrast that with the number of channels covering these games to give you an idea of where the opportunities are to grow. So if we click on channels, the number one most streamed game right now is actually Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So this is actually probably the worst game on the list to stream. The second worst game to stream is Fortnite. The third worst game to stream is Genshin Impact. Here's why. Call of Duty Modern Warfare is by far the most streamed game in terms of the number of channels covering it, but it was the number 4 most viewed? That's bad. That's a bad disparity between supply and demand. The same thing is the case for Fortnite. It was the number 5 most viewed game. However, it's number 2 in terms of streamers, overshadowing nearly every game. Everybody jumped on Genshin Impact when it came out, but it was only at the bottom of the top 10 list in terms of viewership. So once again, a bad disparity between viewership and channels. However, when we look at a game like League of Legends, it was number 1 on viewership, number 4 here in terms of the number of channels covering it. So that means there's a little bit of an opportunity to grow there, but not much. It's still really, really saturated at number 4 on Twitch. Among Us was in the top 3 in terms of viewership, number 5 in terms of the number of channels covering it. Once again, okay opportunity, not the best opportunity, but here's a really interesting one. When you have the number 2 game, the number 2 category on your platform up there in terms of viewership, but it's the number 6 in terms of the number of channels doing it, Just Chatting is still a great opportunity to grow on Twitch and to engage a new audience, or at least to have something else to do other than playing games. Just Chatting, best opportunity we've seen so far on the top 10 list. And here's something interesting for you guys to note. Apex Legends, Valorant, Minecraft, and Rocket League, here in the top 10 most streamed in terms of the number of channels competing with each other for eyeballs. Do you see any of those 4 games in terms of top 10 viewership over the last week? The answer is no. So those were bad games to stream in terms of viewership to number of channels you're competing with ratio over the last week. So unless you've built an audience for those games already, those are tough titles. Lots of people streaming these, but the viewership isn't necessarily there. But we'll see next week if things settle out a bit, because multiple games busted into the top 10 in terms of viewership, such as Genshin Impact, such as the new horror game, such as Among Us jumping in the top 10, which kind of unseated these games in the top 10. Will viewership return? Most likely it will, but these are still very high competition titles with not as much viewership as you would like to see. Look, if you're looking for one-on-one coaching with me, I've been coaching creators for the last 10 years. I built #1 gaming network on YouTube that got billions of views a month. I've grown channels from scratch to millions of subscribers. You need to hire me for coaching. awalldigital.com. You can click the schedule one-on-one coaching button, or you can go to my calendar. Click here, click your time, click confirm, enter in your details, and you're meeting with me one-on-one, and I'm advising you on your YouTube strategy, your streaming strategy. I'm helping you grow. I've got so many testimonials from multi-million subscriber channels. Come get the coaching, and happy streaming, everybody. Harris Heller here, signing out.